I feel like a broken record. And also, my voice is shot. I didn't even want to shoot this today. But I feel like I have to. Because there's so many people in this world that need to hear this. When you have a bad day at work because you say, oh my God, I hate this job. How do you think that's going to work out? You are checked out of your job. And now you're putting it on other people. Because when you don't do your job properly, and you don't put the effort in at your job, and you don't understand the different departments that you work at, maybe you're not aware of your surroundings, maybe you're having everything explained to you like a child, it gets really annoying. Another thing is I've got someone I work with that is constantly pointing a laser pointer. Who's to blame? Who did something wrong? Click! Externalize the blame to someone else. Say, I didn't do nothing wrong. This person did. It's all their fault. Email, send, HR, whatever. But that's not the right way to approach life. And they didn't get their visit. Great. That's the problem I was just having there. Is that they had a procedure. They were here, nice, on time. They're a little bit late. But there's people that are checked out of their jobs that don't know everything. They don't go out of their way to know everything about their job. They're not trying to learn every day. And it's affecting other people's quality of their visit. It's affecting patients. And I would say that that's a fireable offense within moderation. Within, let's say, 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. It's not detrimental. If it's a one-time thing, if it's an accident, okay. But you have a idea of your job, and you feel like you're at a good standing where you know your job, but you don't know your job. You don't know something, you block it out of your mind. And that mental block that exists for people that just say, I don't know that, no one told me that. No one told me that is the oldest excuse in the book. I've heard it so many times from so many people, and quite honestly, it's disgusting to me. When you say, oh man, yeah, no one told me that. Oh yeah, I just didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? You didn't ask. You didn't ask the right questions. You haven't been here long enough and been present in the moment and actually listen. A lot of people will be at their job for 2 years and not know enough. Not know anything. But one big problem is externalizing blame. If it's not right in front of you, you're not doing it. The problem is that reality, your job, and everything that comes around with that, not everything is your person, right? I just checked in 30 patients today. But I'm pretty sure I talked to more than 30 people. I know that for a fact, because I was just there for 9 hours, and it certainly didn't feel like 30 people for the span of 5 minutes each. That don't sound like anything. That's easy. That's 150 minutes right there. 9 times 5, 145 minutes. No, that's not it. Or not 9 times 5. 150 minutes. I know I didn't use 150 minutes of work today. There was some time in there. And that's not just 20 minutes per patient. There's more to it than that. Yeah, I know there's gaps in time where there's 5-minute windows where I'm not doing anything. I'm staring at my computer screen. I'm doing something else upstairs. Maybe I'm doing a outside work or whatever. But I know that there is a lot of outside my focus for my job, right? My main focus is right here. This is my job right here. Outside of my job right here is this area that I would like to call, being a dependable and good worker. Being that guy. The guy that other departments know about, right? When you call a department and you say, I don't know, let me talk to whatever. When you say, I need to talk to this person by name, when people start knowing you by name before you know them, that's when you know that you're putting in quality work. That you know your job well, you're very informative to the point where other coworkers are relying on you to know your job properly. Or maybe even know the job of other people. To improve your value as an employee, as a person, as an adult, as whatever you want to call it, to be a person that is of good value to others and to the company, it is to know your stuff. And it's not just for your job, it's to know stuff for other people around you that have no idea what's going on. So the problem is that not everyone wants to put in that work. Not everyone wants to think outside their job and understand these other departments. They want to understand the rules, but they don't want to understand the scope, the big picture. They're not really looking at that. They don't really care. So when you don't really care about any of that stuff, and you just kind of, I clock in, I clock out, and I'm done. Deuces. It's not professional at all. I think it's very unprofessional to actively avoid learning something for someone else. Another thing that pisses me off is that even when you don't try to do any other job, you don't even do your job good enough. And I'm going to be straight up right now. I am not a sucker to the man, to the corporate world yet. There's not a chip in me saying I love my job. No. What I mean is that I want to provide value to this world and the people around me. A lot of your friends come from coworkers because that's the people you spend time with. I work 50 hours a week out of my job. You have 16 hours a day that you're awake. The other 8 are sleeping. I work every day of the week. I have Sundays off, and I work every other Saturday. You know what I mean? Every other Saturday, I'm working for 4 hours. I'm hitting 50 hours a work week on every other week, and then 45 hours every week right now. 9-hour shifts. And I'm working 9 hours every single day. In that span of 9 hours, the rest of my day is 5 hours. 9 plus 5 equals 16. That's my whole day right there. You got to think it's an hour drive. Well, it's a 30-minute drive, but you have to account for traffic and everything like that, getting ready. So you're looking at 30-minute drive plus getting ready. 30-minute drive plus getting ready. So you're looking at right there 2 hours out of your day. Now we're at 11 hours of our day that is at work or driving. So right now we have 5 hours left. It's 16 hours in the day minus that 11. We're at 5 hours left in the day. 1, possibly 2, is at the gym on a typical day. I'm sick right now, so that's not happening very much. I couldn't put any effort in the gym. I can't even breathe right now, let alone work out. But that's right there, 2 hours. The other 3, meal prep, wash dishes, shower, hygiene, chores. And this last hour right here is called watch a TV episode. You get 1 TV episode, no ads, right before you pass out. You see, if you really think about your day, your whole day is work. And unless you take time off of work, you got the weekend. That's pretty much it. Outside of that, you spend a lot of time at work. And I would hope that when you clock in every day, you're not going, oh, it's just a job. No, that's your life. I see you here every day. This is a part of you. Whether you like it or not. You are here for a paycheck, but at the end of the day, where are you spending that money? So you go home and sleep at night in a house support your family? Yes. Okay. But outside of that, do you care about your job at the slightest? I don't want to live in a meaningless world where nothing matters. So I would probably want to find meaning at my career, find purpose, find value, as in helping others. That's a good value. So making sure that I help others as well as possible, that could be very useful. Right here, this window shield says, "I hope something good happens to you today." I love that. Now when I clocked out today, it was 5:06. It was 5:01, and then by the time I'm walking out the door, it's 5:06. I see people sitting in my lobby. I just checked it 30 minutes ago. It was empty. In that span of 30 minutes, I either get a call or I get something on my board. I saw none of those. What's going on here? So I try to follow up before I head out the door. My people should take care of it. Something happened with that. I don't know what was going on. It was a mess, and I was walking out the door. I will happily clock back in and continue helping a person. However, I don't want to get in trouble with my bosses because I like my career. But there's a certain thing that I can do before I walk out the door. By the time I walked to my car today, it was 5:10. The reason is because I spent that extra time and I said, "Come over here with me, go over to this area, they're gonna help you out." Done. Simple, done. Clean, efficient, beautiful. When people around me are not supportive of me, are actively seeking out a problem that I caused, it's a problem, right? I don't like that. It's not good. And it's not a good work environment. And quite honestly, it's not very productive. I have to figure this out because I do have a meeting on Monday about this stuff. The problem is that my philosophy on life bleeds into my work because I care about my work. And when I talk about work problems, I want to make sure that I isolate the two. While they both coincide, I have to make sure that my personal opinions don't affect my what needs to be done at work. I need to figure out what needs to be done at work that isn't just my opinion, but a good work based idea. And maybe there's no such thing. Maybe everything is personal, and that's why things get changed. I don't know how to explain this to my boss without saying, hey, the person you hired here, they're really this, and this, and they're just constantly trying to at me, and I don't really like that. When I do my job, I just want to do it well, and when I make a mistake, let me hear it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to fight for my life in this meeting on Monday. I can guarantee it. Because we just want to hear rainbows and unicorns. We don't want to hear that there's a bunch of problems. And when I bring up the problems, then people get defensive. And there's all these things where we've got multiple parties being defensive for themselves, and then on behalf of other parties be defensive on them. I just don't want to deal with it. Everyone I talk to, when I talk to them about diet, about exercise, I hear them get defensive. They close up, they bring up their shields, and they say, "I don't want to do that, I can't do that, or I shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that either." They try to bring you down with them. When you tell them something and blah, 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 that they don't know yet, even people will put up walls, put up defenses when they don't know something. When you know more than someone else and it becomes a problem, and they know more than you, but they're not knowing more than you do, they try to change the rules. And it's not necessarily cheating. They're not necessarily doing it on purpose. But you can't say no to them because they know more than you, technically. So you just bite your tongue and you just take it. And you let them figure it out. It's kind of sad, though, that they get the credit. So when I become an authority in the future, leadership, and management level roles, I'm going to make sure to retain all of this as much as I can. The simple fact of don't lose your humanity. Don't lose your humanity, and don't just exclude people for what they're saying. Don't try to hide behind a wall when you're talking to someone because you're scared they may say something you don't like. There's a lot of people in my life right now that's what they're doing. They're saying things that, they don't necessarily believe. They're saying things that aren't true. They're saying things under false pretenses. And they're saying things to hide from themselves. They're not seeing themselves in a mirror. They're not looking at themselves. And when you're not self-aware of the things that you do, you're not self-aware of anything else. You're not aware of anyone else around you. Perspicacity is a big problem in this world. You don't see anything around you. You're sucked into your phone half the time. And I'm not just making the joke. I do it too. I put an earbud in my ear at work and I suck myself into my phone because I don't want to deal with people around me. I get it. But I think when it controls you is when it's a problem. When you got a bunch of people around you that don't know what they're doing because they're so sucked into their phones, or maybe they're just, the mindset, the dopamine that comes with that has been drained out of them as well. There's a lot of people I talk to, I can tell them something explicitly. I've told people really big things about me. They're so selfish and tied in with themselves that they don't even pay attention at all. And I'm not mad about it. I mean, it's human nature. You're most likely to be selfish and only think for yourself. It's a survival instinct. But part of the reason we've come so far as humans is being able to understand how others feel and to help others out. Not in a transactional exchange, but in I have a decent moral conscience that makes me feel better about myself when I help others. And maybe that's transactional too. But that's our takeaway right there. So help others. Don't just wait until you're demanded to. Don't wait until you're asked to. Just go out of your way and help others. Because I promise you, you're not doing enough on your own already. I'm not doing enough on my own either. I know that there's other things that I could be doing to help others right now. But right now, I know that I'm helping more than I did yesterday. I'm doing more than I did yesterday. I've learned more than I did yesterday, which means that I'm able to help more. But yes, my job is consuming me. When I dream at night, I think about work. It's consuming. I don't have anything else in my life right now except work and school. Getting my master's online, I spend about 3 hours a week on my classes, and then I do work at work. That's it. I try to go out on the weekends when I can. I try to go to the gym when I can. I go home and watch a couple TV shows. I don't have a lot of time right now. I wish I got paid a lot more for that time because it feels like it's sucking away my lifespan. And if it goes like this for the next 30 years, and I don't have any time at home, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Then I get home at the end of the day, and I don't even have time now, and I don't even have responsibilities. I could stay up till 10. I got 5 hours right there. You know? Right there, that's 5 hours with your family. That doesn't even feel like anything. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get home now. We're gonna have some ramen with some eggs in it, probably. We'll watch Zoolander 2. We watched the first one yesterday. Absolutely hilarious. And that's all about narcissism right there. About male model narcissism. I'm assuming models in general, narcissism. But it's a great point about it. Anyways, don't be a narcissist. I'll catch you later.